Now moving on to, I wanted to do something different for this show today because I watched the show Poker Face throughout the last couple weeks, and it really got me excited, got me thinking. So I wanted to talk about Rian Johnson. He's a showrunner of Poker Face. He's a director that is probably one of my favorites these days. And I don't think he gets enough love because of some things that happen in his career. So I'm just going to go through a little bit of his filmography and just figure that out. And I wanted to play the song just a little bit as we get into it. But Rian Johnson, here's just a little bit about him. He's 49. He's a director and directed a bunch of movies, which I'm about to. I'm talking about all of his movies a little bit because I've literally seen every single one of his movies. Because, like I said, I like him as a director, and not one of his movies is super terrible. Some might disagree when I get to that later. But I'm going to play the theme song to his first movie real quick, and I'm not going to stop talking. I'm just going to play it while I talk. Here we go. Brick. Brick was, listen to this, I love it. Nathan Johnson does the music for most of his movies, except for, well, I'll talk about later. Alright, now I'm going to talk over it. Brick. Oh, it's a good little movie. Brick is about this guy who, his girlfriend disappears seemingly all of a sudden, and so he's trying to figure out what happened to her. And the movie is a detective noir, and they talk kind of like old-timey-ish, like weird. And also, they're all in high school. They're a bunch of high school kids, and this guy's a high school kid trying to solve a murder. Disappearance. Spoiler alert, it was a murder. But he's trying to solve a crime, essentially. And it's a detective noir, but set solely in high school. I wanted to play one clip because it's cool. And I want you to listen to the dialogue. And just listen to how they talk. It's so weird, but here we go.
Where's Dode?
Hey, Brendan. Maybe you shouldn't be here.
Kara told me you know where M's at.
Uh-huh. And why are you looking for M?
She asked for my help.
Uh-huh. Well, listen, man, I got plenty on my plate without dealing with some jilted ex.
It's not about that.
Or whatever it's about, act smarter than you look and drop it.
Where's she at?
You better get while it's good. Feel it now, dig?
Throwing at me if you want, Hashhead. I got all 5 senses, and I slept last night. That puts me 6 up on the lot of you.
It's easy, bro. Where's M?
All right.
I don't know if you heard all those he slapped this man hard several times.
She's with me. She was tight when she called you, man. Came to and freak, told me to shake you if you came by. Said you'd only make things worse. Deal with whatever this ain't about and drop it.
Tell Em I want to see her. Tell her if she wants my help or not. It's her business. But I want to hear it straight from
She
her.
don't want
Today, she knows where I eat lunch.
And stay out, man.
Brick is Brick is a really good movie. It's a detective noir in high school, but it's played pretty much completely straight. There are a couple moments where the reality is broken, like for example, the main guy Brennan, played by Joseph Gordon-Levitt, or Brandon, I guess. Yeah, he's trying to find leads and trying to figure out what's going on, and he needs to get a hold of this one kid. He calls up his house. He gets his mom, and he's like, "Oh, hey, Mrs. Zimmerman," or whatever her name is. It's like, "Can I speak to Giles?" or whoever his name is. And it's just interesting. But then even though sometimes it is played a little bit for comedy, the fact that they are in high school and they're doing this detective noir thing, when stuff goes down, it gets real, and it's good. I love it. And that was his first film, Brick. I recommend it. It's amazing. Me and my brother watched it, and we were like, "This movie's epic," and it's really cool, and it's done pretty cheaply, and it's really good. So I like it. His second film, I'm gonna play a longer clip from, because this is where you kind of get the idea of what Rian Johnson's sort of vibe is. And The Brothers Bloom, this is his second movie. It's about con men, and that's all I'm going to say about that. I love it, and I think I love it more now than I did when I saw it. When I saw it, the first half is really electric. It's really good, and I'll get to the complaints I have about it later. But here's a little bit from The Brothers Bloom.
As far as con man stories go, I think I've heard them all. Of grifters, ropers, pharaoh fixers, tales drawn long and tall. But if one bears a bookmark in the confidence man's tome, it would be that of Penelope and of the brothers Bloom. At 10 and 13, Bloom and Stephen, the younger and the old, had been through several foster families.
Nope.
38 all told. Mischief moved them on in life, and moving kept them close. For Bloom had Stephen and Stephen Bloom, and both had more than most. Another home, another Main Street. Stephen looked around and summed the burg up thusly.
Bloom, we've hit a one-hat town.
One theater, one car wash, one cafe, one park, one cat, which through some mishap had one leg.
Look at that.
One public school, one tight-knit group of local well-off kids. Their pocket change bought rocket pops. The brothers.
Pixie sticks.
They were the they. All well-loved, rooted, happy as you please. Always there in every town.
Playground bourgeoisies.
Playground bourgeoisies. I love that word. I remember when Miss Adams, I realize now as an adult that being a teacher is really difficult, especially now, and you were mean to me. I'm sorry, but all is forgiven. But I will mention that she is the first person who taught me the word bourgeoisie I don't know what. I guess it had to be like a history class a long time ago. I suck at history. That's another thing. I suck at history class. I'm good at American history, and that's not just because I'm like America. I just think the American history is way more interesting than me. I try. World history does lose me so much. I think I did better in college. This is a tangent. I'm just getting to it. I did better in college with world history, and I still sucked. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. The Brothers Bloom. Don't take this clip and think everything he does is like take a serious movie or a fun movie concept and make it for kids. That's not it. This is just the opening of the movie. This is sort of showing where the Brothers Bloom came from. They're two kids who grow up to be two grown con men. Adrian Brody and Mark Ruffalo play the adult versions for the rest of the movie. And it's really good. It's a good brother movie. I think there are only a handful of really good brother movies. And Zathura is one, and I think The Brothers Bloom is another one. I think I like the dynamics between Bloom and... Who's the other one? Bloom and Steven. Yeah, Bloom and Steven. I love the dynamics. Like, Steven has his older brother feeling like he has to take care of his younger brother and try to curate a perfect world for him. And Bloom being like, trying and always failing until he can't anymore. Trying to pull away and be like, I want my own life. But anytime he does, he just sort of gets bored. And so he needs Steven to make him feel alive again sometimes. And that's good. It's a good movie. I love it. It's a good movie. And also, the problem is, though, the first half is way more exciting than the second half. And I feel like Rian Johnson falls into that pit sometimes. I think he's gotten way better now. But The Brothers Bloom and the movie I'm about to talk about in a second, they both have a really electric first half and then pump the brakes, let's slow down second half. And for some people, it loses me more in The Brothers Bloom than it does Looper. I think I like it and appreciate it way more in Looper. But that, regardless, The Brothers Bloom is spectacular. And if you like the con man stories, that's great. And if you like the music that you could have maybe heard, these clips are so low. That's also Nathan Johnson again. I'm going to keep pointing out Nathan Johnson's music anytime it's really good because he's really good. I'm going to play just a little bit more of this clip. I'm going to skip ahead.
To a T. And being who he wasn't could be as he wished to be.
Okay, I'm not going to do it anymore. Okay. So then, after The Brothers Bloom, you're probably like, man, what are you talking about, this director? What are you wasting my time for? I haven't seen either of those movies. What's a brick? What's a Brothers Bloom? I bet you've seen this one.
So you're me in 30 years.
Saw it staring into your eyes. It's too strange.
Your face looks backwards. Do you know what's gonna happen? You done all this already? As me?
I don't want to talk about time travel.
We both know how this has to go down. So why don't you do what old men do and die?
Why don't you just take your little gun out between your legs and do it, boy?
In the future, time travel is outlawed, used only in secret by the largest criminal organizations. When they need someone gone and they want to erase any trace of the target ever existing, they use specialized assassins like me, called loopers.
You're a looper?
You know what we do? And the only rule is never let your target escape, even if your target is you.
So, yes, Looper is about mobsters. So, okay. Mobsters in the future, and this movie takes place a little bit in the future, but not in the future. But mobsters in the future sent knowledge back in time to mobsters in the future. And they said, basically, we need a good way to get rid of bodies. We're going to just send them back in time, and you guys just kill them, take the gold, go about your business. I mean, is it really a crime if they're killing people from the future? I don't know. From the future sent to the past? But these men that kill these guys are called loopers. And the point is, they work for so long, but then at a certain point in the future, they had to kill their future self and then take the rest of their gold or take all their money from that and just retire, live the rest of their lives. You're done with the job. You can't work anymore. Joseph Gordon-Levitt, back again. He is the main looper guy. I forget his effing name. Joe. His name's Joe. And Bruce Willis plays the older version. And when Joseph Gordon-Levitt finally comes face to face with Bruce Willis, like him from the future, Bruce Willis stinking surprise attacks him and escapes, and now he has to spend the rest of the movie trying to stop Bruce Willis from effing up his life because the mob is after Joseph Gordon-Levitt now because he didn't kill his loop. There's some cool, terrifying stuff in this movie. There's one point where like another looper guy doesn't kill his loop and he gets away, and so they kidnap the mob. The mob kidnaps the young version who failed to kill his looper guy, and they just start, and you're following the escaped older loop. Yeah, we'll call him a loop. And he's just like trying to run, trying to find a place to hide, and you just start seeing pieces of him disappear because they're cutting off the limbs of his young self. And you just see them happen, and they're just scarred over immediately, and they just start disappearing. Oh my god. And there's one part where he's like trying to run away and he loses his legs. And then he tries to climb a fence, but he can't climb it because his arm disappears. And the next thing you know, he has 2 arm stubs on the ground trying to hit the fence, trying to climb it before he gets ultimately murdered. That was effing cool. But also the second half does slow down. I think it's cool though because they deal with like, they have like cool future drugs, and some people can move things with their mind, but not that much. And it's not that big of a deal, which is kind of awesome. And they kind of use the Force in a way, which is interesting. Why would they be using the Force? I should have got the trailer for Star Wars The Last Jedi, but I didn't. So Rian Johnson, after Looper, directed Star Wars The Last Jedi. This is the second in the Star Wars trilogy of things. Yes. Second trilogy. Wait, no. Second new trilogy? Okay, people, you all watch Star Wars, or maybe you haven't. You know, there's an OG 3 with Luke, Leia, and Han. Those are way back in the 80s. Then there's the prequels in the early 2000s / late 90s with Obi-Wan and Anakin. And now we had the sequels, I'm sorry, with Star Wars, The Force Awakens crew, Rey, Finn, Poe, I guess. Yeah. See, I barely even care anymore. And Rise of Skywalker is a goddamn abomination. A lot of people thought The Last Jedi is an abomination. The Last Jedi is not that good, but it is severely overhated, and also one of the more interesting things that happen in Star Wars than most things we see on a daily basis, aside from Andor, which I think is amazing. So I'm going to play this clip from The Force Awakens, and it's Luke teaching Rey the Force, and I want to get into what Rian Johnson did differently with The Force, the Last Jedi, and yeah, whatever. Here we go.
Breathe. Just breathe. Reach out with your feelings. What do you see?
The island. Life. Death and decay that feeds new life. Warmth. Cold. Peace. Violence.
And between it all,
Balance. And energy. A force.
and inside you.
Inside me. That same force.
Oh my god, such a good scene. God dang, I got goosebumps. I got the goosebumps. God dang it. God dang it, people are mean to this movie. The Last Jedi. Star Wars The Last Jedi. Rian Johnson directed it. I said that, obviously. What people are getting wrong with this movie, like, he does such interesting things about, like, recontextualizing the Force and what the fudge the Force even is. You know, people just thinking, after the prequels, and the midichlorians, people didn't understand, okay, so what is even the Force even? What even is the Force? And this movie is like, let's look into that. And they, tie it up with some, like, Eastern philosophy. And Luke, even though people get so mad about Luke being like, I'm no longer interested in trying to be a Jedi, it's because Luke has hit, I think, a point that is a little bit further than what the Jedi have thought. Like, the Sith, they want all dark, and the Jedi fight for the light. But they all seem to forget that there is a balance. Life needs death, and death needs life. Things create and destroy. At balance, I don't know. It's all stupid. It's good. It's cool. I like it. Now, there is all the Canto Bite stuff on The Last Jedi is bad. Anything that isn't directly just Luke and Rey and Kylo in The Last Jedi, it's kind of not good. But the stuff that is good is effing great and spectacular. And it's a shame on you if you don't like The Last Jedi. And more shame on you if you do like The Rise of Skywalker. I'm sorry. I need to get me and Jacob need to choose a day to just say our piece about The Rise of Skywalker, because that movie is offensive. It's beyond offensive how bad that movie is. We're about to have a commercial here in a minute, and I'll get into, I think I'll have plenty of time to talk about what Rian Johnson's been doing now, and my little poker face review. But we still got a couple minutes before we do that. I'm going to play this clip from Knives Out. Yeah.
It's an unmovable fact that I killed Harlan.
Yes, you did. Yes, he did. Yes, you are. But I spoke in the car about the hole at the center of this donut. And what you and Harlan did that fateful night seems at first glance to fill that hole perfectly. A donut hole in a donut's hole. But we must look a little closer. And when we do, we see the donut hole has a hole in its center. It is not a donut hole, but a smaller donut with its own hole. And our donut is not a hole at all.
Look, I understand that this is amusing for you.
Why was I hard? Why would someone harm me?
Someone fishing for a crime to reverse the will, Blanc.
But I was hard before the sealed will was read. So yes, the person must have known the contents of the will. But one step further, that same person must have known a crime was committed. And further, if the intent was to reverse Marta's inheritance, they must have known that Marta was responsible. An intriguing combination of factors. Someone who knew what Marta did, wanted to expose it, but could not reveal how they knew.
Fran, she was blackmailing me. She knew what I did.
Yeah, but Fran wanted money. Ergo, she did not want the crime exposed.
Well, there's someone in the family had observed Marta doing something suspicious.
But they would have had no reason not to speak up. The answer is not so simple. Now, with the entire solution in my field of view, the arc of this case is a tragedy of errors.
KUHS.
Babies are crying, mothers are weeping, but you always have Randy's delicious jams and jellies.
Sundays, 6 p.m.
KUHS LP, Hot Springs, Arkansas, solar-powered community radio.
Hello, it's the Effin Nerd Show, 102.5 FM, KUHS 102 LP Hot Springs. God dang. Oi! That was a clip from Knives Out, which is, I think it got the stink off Rian Johnson, I think, after The Last Jedi. I think he was nominated for, or the movie in general might have been nominated. Let me see how much nominated it got. Academy Awards. Let's see. Knives Out, Academy Award. Bing, bing, bing. Here we go. Okay, so Best Original Screenplay is nominated for... Oh, he won! No, he was nominated for Best Original Screenplay. And actors and actresses... Okay, yeah, okay. So that's it. That's only one. I wonder what it was nominated for. Oh, no, he didn't win! I gotta quit. He nominated, and that was it. The end. Okay, goodbye. Alright. And then he did Glass Onion, which I love Glass Onion also. But he also did Poker Face, which I'm going to get to in a second. But I also wanted to mention, he did Breaking Bad. He did probably the best, well, I wouldn't say the best 3 episodes. He did 3 episodes total. One of them people consider is one of the best episodes, if not the best episode in the entire series, and that's Ozymandias. I'm going to see if I can get the clip from that. Ozymandias. And he made an epic Breaking Bad little trailer for it. Breaking Bad trailer. You're only going to hear it, but it's really good. Okay, here we go.
I met a traveler from an antique land who said, 2 vast and trunkless legs of stone stand in the desert. Near them, on the sand, half sunk, a shattered visage lies, whose frown and wrinkled lip and sneer of cold command tell that its sculptor well those passions read which yet survive, stamped on these lifeless things. The hand that mocked them and the heart that fed, and on the pedestal these words appear. My name is Ozymandias, King of Kings. Look on my works, ye mighty, and despair. Nothing beside remains. Round the decay of that colossal wreck, boundless and bare, the lone and level sands stretch far away.
Ooh, chilling. Breaking Bad and Ozymandias. That was such a good episode. That's really the episode. You know, anytime there's a crime show, you need to have an episode in the final season where it's like, no, everything blew up in your face. Now you gotta fix it or figure it out. And that's the episode where everything blows up in Walter's face. And I love it. And it's good. And it's directed well. And there's an actor in it, Dode from Brick. I don't know the actor's name. I probably do somewhere, but I'm not going to bother. He's in every one of Rian Johnson's works. He's even in Breaking Bad. He's in Star Wars for a snippet. It's usually just a blink and you miss it cameo, but I appreciate the fact that without fail, every single one of Rian Johnson's projects has that guy who played Dode in his first movie in it somewhere, which is cool. So yeah, he did Knives Out. Obviously, Rian Johnson has a thing for murder mysteries because you got Brick, that's a murder mystery. You got Knives Out and Glass Onion, those are both murder mysteries. And you got this show, Poker Face. I guess I'm going to go ahead and talk about it. That's also a murder mystery. And I'm going to play the theme because this theme lives in my head every day randomly. Let me paint a picture for you, okay? Imagine, if you will, a person works at a movie theater. And they're stinking, just doing their thing. They're at a movie theater, just chilling, whatever. And then they walk outside and they see a guy sitting in his car. They go up, he walks up to the guy sitting in his car. The guy sitting in the car, he looks over and he sees the other guy from the movie theater walking over to the car. The guy sitting in the car grabs a gun, and he's ready to shoot this guy in the movie theater if he walks up to him and if anything gets crazy. The guy in the movie theater walks up to him, and he, is like, hey, what's going on? What are you doing out here? And the guy in the car with the gun hidden but ready to shoot him if things pop off is like, oh, nothing, I've been driving, I just fell asleep over here. Oh, okay, well, whatever. And then the movie theater guy walks away, and then you're like, oh, wow, well, that was interesting. But then the movie theater guy comes back out and then shoots the guy in the car with a bazooka. Boom! And then you're like, wait, what? What's going on? Why did the movie theater guy kill him? What's going on? And then cut to a lone highway. car driving on the highway, obviously. And the car is a woman. And that woman is on the run. And that woman is a person who can tell when you're lying. And shenanigans ensue. Always. I gotta let it play that last bit one more time. Oh. I was gonna do it again. I'm gonna start over. Because I love it. That part stays in my head all day. Poker Face is about a woman who is on the run, and she is going from town to town, just trying to get away from some people that are chasing her. And you get a little bit of lore, kind of, about what she did with this ability she has. She has the ability to just tell when people are lying. And it's not, like, flashy. It's not, crazy. And sometimes she gets into trouble herself, because even though she can tell when a person is lying, she doesn't always know why they're lying. She'll sometimes assume that they're lying for a specific reason that is not related to the fact that they probably murdered a person. And she'll spend the whole time trying to figure out what happened, and then once she figures out what happens, trying to get proof. And then once she gets the proof, she has to tell somebody else to alert the authorities, because she's a wanted woman. Which is cool. And I like it. I like the fact that this is a crime show about a person who is solving crimes, who is not a detective, who is not a cop, who is not in anything. She is a normal person who has an ability, and she's almost like, she's not she's basically homeless, but she's more like a drifter. She doesn't stay in any town too long. She makes friends with a lot of people, and it sucks though, because a lot of the time it's her friends who end up getting murdered. And what I love most about this show, though, is almost 15-20 minutes of every episode, you're following, you don't know which one of them is the victim, but there's always like 2 or 3 or 4 characters. They're interacting with each other, and you're like, one of these people is a murderer, and one of these people is being murdered. And you don't really know who it's going to be, and you're always guessing, well, obviously somebody's going to get murdered. How's it going to happen? And then, when it cuts to her, after the murder has happened, and then it cuts back, it'll be like, and then you get to see what she's been doing. And what's even cooler to me is, you find out that she was closer to the murder, way closer to the murder than you would have thought before. And then it goes back, and you sort of see her, what she was doing at the time of those murders happening. And sometimes you'll notice, oh, she was in the background during this part. You just didn't notice it. Or you didn't realize that somebody was talking to her when they were talking to, like, some person, like a stagehand off screen or something or whatever. So it's really cool. It's really cool that, and my brother is annoyed because every time I talk to him, he's like, no, Mike, I don't care. She's not a detective. It's cool. It's like the Incredible Hulk. Because that's what I love about The Incredible Hulk. I love the fact that it's kind of like a cop show, but he's not a cop. He's a man on the run, and he's always trying to hide. And he can't be comfortable ever, so it sucks, because like, he'll make friends along the way. Oh, but dang it, he hulks out. And great, I committed some crime, I gotta go leave. And I love that aspect of it. It's just so interesting. Whereas you watch 1,000, a dozen, a gazillion other shows that are like Monk. I love Monk. And that Monk was different at the time. The idea of, oh, well, what if it was a detective who had like obsessive compulsive tendencies? Or, and it's funny, Poker Face, another thing is I haven't been watching a lot of newer movies or anything, but I've been binging Burn Notice. And there are a couple nods to Burn Notice in Poker Face. And Burn Notice is a little bit more of a traditional cop-ish show, except it's for spies, and it's in Miami for some reason. But for one, the fact that I was, just casually binging Burn Notice, anytime I don't have something else to watch, I'll just put on Burn Notice to have it on. And it's fun to just pay attention for 2 minutes and then walk away. And then come back, and whatever. But the vibe, it's not exactly the same as Burn Notice at all. But I feel like they are they appreciated Burn Notice. For some reason, I think they're giving like Burn Notice a little extra. What's the word? Like a nod. It's like maybe they liked how Burn Notice handled episodic television, and I would honestly tell you, it's true. Burn Notice is great at doing episodic television. Not a single episode is boring. Not a single episode is confusing. Not a single episode is bad. It's not. Every episode is good. You can say it's predictable. You can see how some of the pieces are the same, and they just sort of rearrange them. But it's not a bad episode of television. In a day and age where now everything is serialized and everything is like a story, sometimes it is nice just to have a little bite-sized. I'm just going to be here for an hour. I just want to watch 1 hour of something happening and then be done with it and leave. And that's what Poker Face is. But it doesn't sacrifice. And whereas some shows that do that, kind of you can feel get lazy sometimes, this one doesn't. Every episode is shot great. Every story has twists and turns you're never going to understand, or not. No, you understand it, but you're never going to get or necessarily guess right away. What I love also is you know who the murderer is pretty much every time. Yeah, so you'll see the murder happen, and the real interesting idea is how is she going to find out, especially when she doesn't know who did it, and a lot of times she's mingling with people that she didn't know that they murdered her friend, and it's like, whoa. And that's where her ability comes in interesting ways. Like, say her friend got murdered, and these people she's talking to is like, hey, I just think it's weird how they got murdered, right? Like, didn't you think that it's weird? And they're just going like, yeah, it's so weird. And then she'll be like, wait a minute, they didn't think it was weird. They know something. And sometimes she doesn't always, she doesn't put two and two together right away. Immediately. It's like she's not smarter than the average person. I mean, she kind of is. She has great street smarts or whatever, but she's not like a detective. I know I keep saying that she's not a detective, but she doesn't have these skills. She doesn't have crime fighting skills or crime solving skills. She just asks questions and she finds out if people are lying. And sometimes she has to find out if a person is lying just so she can know for sure if they did do it. Like, tell me, did you kill that person? And they'll be like, no, I didn't. And she got her answer. She just needed you to tell her you didn't, so she knew you did. And I love it. It's cool. And Natasha Lyonne, I didn't know Russian Doll had to do with like time loop stuff, and I thought it was just going to be an annoying thing. Now I'm interested in checking that out. I like Natasha Lyonne. I like her voice. Her voice is so like, I don't even know if raspy. I don't know. Is raspy the right word? It's like sandpaper. But she's such a great actress, though. There are so many times, especially with her raspy voice and her messy hair, where she's just like sitting there. Like one time she's saying some lines that are kind of funny, kind of in a joking way, but her face is like dead serious and there's tears in her eyes, but her delivery is still on point. And it's like, how'd you do that? How are you crying while also delivering a joke in a pretty funny way, but also showing that you're terrified or sad or whatever? That's really good. I like it. I think I want more. I shouldn't have. As soon as I watched the first episode of Poker Face, I was like, okay, so what's this? And then I just started watching everything. It's only about 10 episodes. I probably maybe did 2 episodes 2 days in a row at some point. But I basically stuck with it like one a day. I was like, all right, time for Poker Face. And now that's over, I'm done. I need something else. But yeah, that was Poker Face. It's so good. I'm going to play that theme one more time just so it's stuck in your head. And then you just feel like, man, I need to hear it again. And you just go watch Poker Face. So here you go. Here's that theme one more time. So good. Nathan Johnson and Judson Crane, music by. You can tell Nathan Johnson's fingerprints are all over that, especially when I played the Emily theme. Hold on. Emily theme from Brick. Dun, dun, dun. Let's get to know this. I don't know. There's similar, like, dun 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 dun. Like, it's, well, I'm Brick is a lot more solemn, but there is a sadness in that Poker Face theme. It's both like, oh, I'm just walking, I'm go lucky, I'm going, but I'm also a little sad. I like it. And the Brothers Bloom theme is amazing. Hold on. Which we heard, but I'm going to play it again. Bloom theme. Penelope's theme. Hold on. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. I'm trying to find it. It's supposed to be like 6 minutes. I'm gonna skip it. Oh, Brothers in the One Hat Town. That's what it is. Bum, bum, ba-da-da, dun, 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 dun. Oh, hold on. The Perfect Con, that's what it's called. Hold on. Okay, alright. Goodbye! The Effin Nerd Show, 102.5 FM, Hot Springs, KUHS, 102.5 FM, Hot Springs. I'm going to leave you guys with this, because this is a really good theme from the Brothers Bloom. I'm just going to play it in its entirety. It's 6 minutes, so there'll be plenty of time, and then I'm just going to end the show. It was good. I liked talking about Rian Johnson. I hope you guys check out all the things I talked about. It's really good. All this stuff is good. It's cool. They're always shot epically. And, well, not epic. They're not epically shot, but they're like coolly shot. Cool shots, cool sounds, cool music, cool characters, cool themes, cool concepts. The end. All right. Goodbye.
macht man jetzt noch Max, der Bolle.